not this. Not, oh my goodness!
In a shocking turn of events, Kevin Owens, once Sami Zayn's closest ally, has betrayed him in the most heart-wrenching way imaginable. Years of shared victories, struggles, and a bond built on trust have been shattered in an instant, leaving fans in stunned silence. Now, an emotional and intense rivalry is born, one that will test both superstars like never before. Will Zayn seek revenge, driven by pain, or rise above it, searching for redemption? The road ahead is uncertain, filled with turmoil, and promises to redefine their careers. The battle for their legacies begins now. The early days. A bond forged in independent wrestling. To truly understand the magnitude of Owens' betrayal, one must look back at the long and storied history between him and Sami Zayn. Their partnership didn't begin in WWE, but in the independent wrestling scene, where they each worked tirelessly to carve out a reputation for themselves. In Ring of Honor ROH, Kevin Steen and El Generico, now known as Owens and Zayn, made a name for themselves with their intense, high-flying, and brutal wrestling styles. They became beloved figures to fans worldwide, known for their emotional storytelling and raw in-ring chemistry. When Owens and Zayn transitioned to WWE, they did so with a shared goal: to conquer the biggest wrestling company in the world. Their connection remained as strong as ever, and they formed a tag team that captured the hearts of the WWE universe. Together, they won championships, fought side by side in some of WWE's most iconic matches, and built a loyal following. Theirs was a bond that transcended the squared circle, a friendship founded on mutual respect, shared hardships, and years of loyalty. However, as with many stories of great partnerships, this one began to unravel as time passed. Subtle signs of growing tension emerged, signaling the eventual collapse of their once unbreakable connection. Owens' increasing focus on personal glory began to clash with Zayn's desire to keep their bond intact. The seeds of betrayal were sown over time, but no one could have predicted just how devastating that moment would be when it finally arrived. The divergence. Two men on different paths. As their WWE careers progressed, the differences between Owens and Zayn became more apparent. Zayn, ever passionate about his career and deeply connected to the bond they shared, found himself at odds with Owens, who seemed to prioritize his own ambitions. While Zayn sought to preserve their partnership, Owens increasingly focused on his individual success, leaving Zayn feeling sidelined and unappreciated. What had once been a mutually beneficial friendship slowly morphed into a one-sided pursuit of greatness for Owens, with Zayn's emotional well-being taking a backseat. Despite Zayn's repeated efforts to mend their relationship and reignite the spark of their partnership, Owens remained distant. His behavior became colder, and the emotional connection that had once been the cornerstone of their bond began to wither away. The tension between them was palpable, and Zayn's heartbreak grew as he realized that the friendship he had once relied on was slipping through his fingers. With each passing day, it became clear that Owens was no longer the friend Zayn once knew. The first betrayal, NXT TakeOver, a heartbreaking moment. While the recent betrayal at the Royal Rumble 2025 may have been the most shocking and violent act of betrayal, the true beginning of this feud occurred years earlier at NXT TakeOver, Our Evolution, in December 2014. At that event, Zayn achieved one of the greatest milestones of his career by winning the NXT Championship, an accomplishment that was supposed to be the culmination of years of hard work, sacrifice, and dedication. However, just moments after Zayn's victory, Owens, who had once been Zayn's closest friend and confidant, shocked the world by turning on him in a vicious and calculated attack. The assault was not just physical, it was deeply emotional. Owens had not only destroyed Zayn's moment of glory, but had also shattered the very foundation of their friendship. This brutal betrayal would mark the beginning of a long and bitter rivalry, one that would define their careers in ways neither man could have ever imagined. Royal Rumble 2025. The dark transformation of Kevin Owens. While the betrayal at NXT TakeOver set the stage for the feud, it was at the Royal Rumble 2025 that Owens underwent a dramatic transformation. In the brutal ladder match for the undisputed WWE Championship against Cody Rhodes, Owens suffered a significant defeat. However, that loss seemed to trigger something inside him, and the once carefree prizefighter persona he was known for slowly began to fade. What emerged was a new, colder version of Owens, one consumed by ambition and a hunger for power. Gone was the fan favorite who had once embraced chaos and unpredictability. In his place stood a man driven by a singular desire to dominate. Owens's newfound darkness would set the stage for a devastating betrayal that would change the course of his and Zayn's rivalry forever. But the transformation was not without its consequences. Owens's shift in attitude and character would prove to have lasting effects, not only on his relationship with Zayn, but on his future in WWE as well. The betrayal unfolds, a savage assault on WWE Raw. The aftermath of the Royal Rumble 2025 saw the full extent of Owens's transformation come to light. On WWE Raw the following night, Owens would strike a devastating blow to Zayn. In an emotionally charged moment, Zayn, still hopeful for some reconciliation, made his way to the ring, only to be met with a brutal and calculated attack by his former friend. The viciousness of the assault left fans reeling, and Zayn was left battered and broken, physically and emotionally. What made this attack particularly heart-wrenching was the personal nature of the assault. Each blow seemed to be fueled not just by ambition or rage, but by years of resentment and bitterness that had been building between the two men. Owens had finally embraced his dark persona, and there would be no turning back. This moment was not just a physical attack. It was the definitive end to any hope of reconciliation between the two. The WWE Universe watched in stunned silence as the bond that once united Owens and Zayn was forever destroyed. The fallout. The WWE Universe reacts to the betrayal. The fallout from Owens's betrayal was immediate and profound. Fans who had followed the duo from their early days in the independent scene were left heartbroken and in disbelief. Social media exploded with a mixture of anger, sadness, and confusion as fans struggled to process the betrayal that had shattered one of WWE's most beloved partnerships. The emotional toll of this act was not lost on the WWE Universe, and Owens's actions sparked heated debates about loyalty, ambition, and the true nature of friendship. Within the WWE locker room, reactions were equally strong. Superstars like Seth Rollins, who had experienced betrayal in his own career, were quick to condemn Owens's actions, calling him a snake and warning that his actions would have consequences. Some even speculated that Owens had aligned himself with a darker faction, suggesting that this betrayal was merely the first step in a more sinister journey. What was clear, however, was that Owens had irrevocably altered his place in WWE. The man who had once been a fan favorite was now a figure of disdain and distrust. The future of Owens and Zayn, a rivalry built on pain. As the dust settles from the betrayal, the future of Owens and Zayn is uncertain. While the emotional devastation caused by Owens's actions is undeniable, Zayn's path forward is anything but clear. Will Zayn seek vengeance for the destruction of his friendship, or will he focus on redemption, seeking to restore his sense of purpose and career? The question of how Zayn will respond to Owens' betrayal will likely shape the course of this rivalry. But one thing is certain. Their paths are now irrevocably intertwined, and the emotional weight of their past will hang over every move they make. For Owens, his path is equally uncertain. Will he continue down his dark path, consumed by a thirst for power and domination? Or will the weight of his betrayal catch up with him, forcing him to confront the true cost of his ambition? Whatever the future holds, it is clear that this rivalry will not be easily resolved, and both men will have to navigate treacherous waters as they seek to define their legacies. Sami Zayn's response: a journey of redemption or revenge. For Zayn, the emotional devastation of Owens' betrayal is undeniable, but his response will determine his future. Will he allow himself to be consumed by the pain of the betrayal, seeking vengeance with a burning fury? Or will he use this setback to fuel his quest for redemption, to rise above the emotional wounds and reclaim his place in WWE? Zayn's next steps are critical, as his response to Owens' betrayal will define not only his rivalry with Owens, but the trajectory of his entire career. The legacy of Owens and Zayn, a saga of betrayal and redemption. As the emotional feud between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn continues to unfold, fans are left on edge, wondering what will come next. The once unbreakable bond between these two men has been torn apart, leaving a trail of emotional devastation in its wake. Whether redemption or revenge lies in their future, one thing is clear: the rivalry between Owens and Zayn will go down as one of WWE's most intense and emotionally charged sagas. For both men, the road ahead is fraught with uncertainty, and the journey they embark on will not be without its challenges. While redemption may be Zayn's ultimate goal, Owens' thirst for dominance may push both men to their limits. The emotional weight of their past will continue to define their actions, and the WWE Universe will be there, every step of the way, to witness this unforgettable journey of betrayal, revenge, and redemption. The uncertain road. Ahead. Redemption or revenge. Sami Zayn's future in WWE is now shrouded in uncertainty following the devastating betrayal by Kevin Owens. What was once a bond built on years of shared experiences has now been shattered, leaving Zayn to confront a critical decision. Will he seek revenge on the man who tore apart their friendship? Or will he turn inward and attempt to reclaim his sense of self through redemption? The emotional scars left by Owens' attack run deep, and as Zayn contemplates his path forward, the consequences of his choices loom large. Fans, while eager for Zayn's next steps, cannot ignore the very real possibility that whichever direction he chooses, the journey will not be an easy one. Revenge may not deliver the satisfaction he seeks, and redemption could require more than he's willing to sacrifice. Kevin Owens' transformation. A dark path ahead. Owens' transformation into a cold and ruthless competitor has left many questioning the motivations behind his betrayal. Was this sudden shift in personality merely the culmination of years of frustrations, or had something darker taken root within him? Fans speculate whether Owens' descent into villainy is part of a calculated plan to elevate his career, or if it signals a deeper, more disturbing change. His brutal attack on Zayn in the aftermath of their shared history marks the beginning of a new chapter, one that leaves his true intentions in question. Has Owens fully embraced this new persona, or is this darkness merely a fleeting phase in his career? What is certain, however, is that Owens has now alienated himself from the WWE universe that once adored him. His newfound persona is one driven solely by ambition and a cold disregard for those around him. There is no telling how far Owens will go, and whether this transformation will be his undoing or propel him to even greater heights. The uncertainty of Owens' future looms large, and no one, least of all Owens himself, can predict where this path of darkness will lead. A legacy shattered, the end of an era. The betrayal that fractured the bond between Owens and Zayn also marks the end of an era in WWE. The iconic partnership that was once the heart of WWE's tag team scene is no more. Fans who witnessed their rise from the independent circuit to WWE's biggest stages are left to process the painful truth. This was not just a betrayal between two superstars, but the destruction of something far greater, an era of friendship, shared glory, and emotional connection. The emotional fallout from this split is not just a personal loss for Zayn, but a significant shift in the WWE landscape itself. For Owens, this betrayal could signal the beginning of a new career trajectory, but not necessarily one that will be met with open arms. His brutal attack on Zayn has turned him into a pariah, and the question remains, can he ever regain the trust of the WWE Universe, or is he destined to remain a villain in the eyes of fans? As Owens moves forward, the challenge will be not just to prove his dominance, but to justify his actions and attempt to rebuild a career that has been forever changed by betrayal. At the crossroads, redemption or revenge. Sami Zayn now finds himself at a crossroads, forced to make a choice that will define not only his career but his legacy within WWE. Will he allow the pain of betrayal to propel him into a quest for vengeance, or will he rise above the emotional turmoil and seek redemption? Each option carries significant weight, and neither path is without its challenges. Opting for revenge would undoubtedly fuel a personal and emotionally charged rivalry between Zayn and Owens, but it also carries the risk of clouding Zayn's judgment. Seeking justice for the wrong done to him could drive Zayn to make rash decisions, ultimately preventing him from reaching the potential he once had. The emotional burden of seeking retribution may weigh heavily on Zayn's mind, leading him down a darker path that could end in self-destruction. On the other hand, choosing redemption could offer Zayn the chance to channel his pain into personal growth and resurgence as a WWE superstar. This would require him to rise above the emotional devastation of betrayal and reclaim his place in the spotlight on his own terms. However, this path, while potentially more fulfilling in the long run, would not come without its own obstacles. Redemption in the eyes of the WWE Universe may not be easily earned, and Zayn may find that the wounds left by Owens' betrayal are too deep to fully heal. The saga continues, unresolved tensions and growing hostility. As the rivalry between Owens and Zayn continues to evolve, the WWE Universe is left in suspense, wondering how it will all unfold. The stakes are now higher than ever, with both men locked in a bitter struggle for emotional resolution and personal dominance. For Zayn, the emotional toll of Owens' betrayal will continue to shape his decisions and actions in the ring. Will he allow the bitterness of betrayal to define his every move? Or can he find a way to focus on the bigger picture? Meanwhile, Owens' future is equally uncertain. His descent into darkness has captivated some fans, but many question whether he has crossed a line from which there is no return. Will Owens continue to embrace this villainous persona, wreaking havoc on anyone in his path? Or will he come to realize the consequences of his actions and attempt to reconcile with those he has hurt? As Owens' transformation continues, it remains to be seen whether his ambition will ultimately lead to his downfall or catapult him to a new level of success. The lasting impact of Owens' betrayal. Defining legacies. Kevin Owens' betrayal of Sami Zayn will undoubtedly be remembered as a defining moment in both men's careers, shaping their legacies in ways that cannot be undone. For Owens, the betrayal marked the beginning of a darker chapter, one that may see him either rise to unprecedented heights or fall into irrelevance as a villain. His actions will have lasting consequences, not just for his career, but for his relationship with the WWE Universe, a relationship he has now damaged beyond measure. For Sami Zayn, the emotional scars of Owens' betrayal will be even harder to overcome. The personal and professional toll of losing a friend in such a brutal manner has left Zayn questioning everything he once believed in. The challenge ahead is not just to seek retribution, but to prove his resilience in the face of such overwhelming heartbreak. Zayn's response to this betrayal will be key to determining whether he can reclaim his spot at the top of WWE or if the damage done by Owens will have a lasting effect on his career. In the end, the saga of Owens and Zayn will be remembered as one of the most emotionally charged and intense rivalries in WWE history. Both men now face uncertain futures, and the road ahead is fraught with challenges, but the potential for redemption, or destruction, remains in their hands. As the rivalry intensifies, the WWE Universe will continue to watch, holding their breath, as these two men battle for not just championships, but their very legacies.